Hello, dear Joana. Thank you so much for accepting this invitation on my podcast. You as a mentor, as a business mentor, and me as a founder of elephAi. I'm glad to have this conversation of you about the transition that we are actually encountering right now from the stubborn, stigmatized, hustling way to a more self-aware, self-conscious femininity, and also more empowered motherhood and parenthood, I would say. So today we're going to explore actually those topics about how still the woman, in any ways that she wants to perform, even if it's her project or her child, she still self-sabotage herself because of fears or old beliefs. So how can we somehow try to inform them or create more awareness that her inner self-confidence and knowledge is actually the power and the truth to choose the better choices and guidance in life.
First of all, thank you so much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here. And English is not my first language, so I'll do my best for this podcast. Well, I think that the first thing that we have to understand is that something that Carl Jung used to say, until you make the unconscious conscious, the unconscious will lead your life and you will call it faith. So if it's that so, I can only be living the life of my dreams if I know that it's me that is choosing every step of the way. But we have some previous systems, families, that were the core of our foundations. They build our foundations. And they build that with all of their love, focusing on passing to us what it worked to them in order to survive. If that worked with them, if I taught that to my daughter or to my son, it will work with them as well. So we carry a lot of beliefs, patterns, that if I'm not aware of them, they will decide my life. So when I do this path of knowing myself, of being aware of all of my inner world, I gain the ability to choose wisely and to really build what I want, not what someone told me that I should.
Yeah, thank you so much for your answer. It's very conscious and from someone very aware of how to lead her life, actually. Nowadays, there are women who wants to born projects or even have a child. I sometimes compare both of this to the same self-awareness or inner knowing of the woman to her own feminine power. How do you see this? Do you think this feminine power is our co-creation of also the next generation and the projects that the woman wants to create? And how should she lead this from her truth self and not from external validation or from external information that probably is not real, it's fake?
I think that this is a rule that I carry for my life. Everything that I watch on social media or something that I see someone building, and maybe all those things can inspire me and make me think, well, I want to live that, I want to do that. Every time I do this exercise, I take a deep breath, I close my eyes, and it's like a scan. I pass, I pass like I make a scan through my body, and I just try to understand, is there any part of me that constrains?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any part of me that it's a full yes or a maybe with something? I think that this is the first step to be aligned with the feminine creation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because we have this thing called intuition, but most of the time we are taught not to validate that. It comes with the stories of the witches, with a lot of things mixed there. But I really, really decide my life based on that intuition.
Mm-hmm.
All my steps were based on that. And I really believe if I fell, at least it was on my terms. So this is the first thing that is important in my life, is if that decision is aligned with what my body wants,
mm-hmm.
or if it is not.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to combine motherhood with the business, with all of that, sometimes it's overwhelmed. Yes, it's a little too much, but I want that so much that I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with navigating with sometimes it's not so good, sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's really, really good. But it's true for my body because it's something that I really, really want.
Mm-hmm.
But to be able to go to that place to do the things that I really, really want, I had to shut some voice down.
Mm-hmm.
I had to, on my 21st anniversary, to say goodbye to my family, to move from home in order to disconnect from that beliefs that I knew that they were blocking me, stopping me for love. I know that was for love, for afraid that I might be hurt myself, that might not work, that they could eventually not be there to support me. But that was stopping me from living, from flowing. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I answered the question.
Yes, totally. Which leads me actually to the next question. And thank you for sharing also your personal story, which is very interesting and shows how women like you can be an example for other women to choose what they want to do from their true self, listening their body and their mind in ways of choosing the right path they want to, and knowing that's the right path because it comes from your inner power, your inner knowing. So my next question comes to how do we shift a bit this overwhelmed mental struggle of a mother or of a father that has so many things to do, especially also with these old self-beliefs that they need to be perfect and they cannot fail. How do we shift from this overwhelmed to a more aware identity, which it's okay to be the way it is, and it's safe to be yourself, your true self, and it's safe to do the choices you want to do, not because the others are telling you to do so.
I can tell and I can share with you what worked for me. I think it's the best way because I already tried, it worked. And you can take with you what suits you better. But first of all, always go to your body. Always go to your body and feel if it's a full yes or maybe a no. And then ask why. If that you are feeling it's truly yours, or maybe it's something that someone said that you could not do, that you were not capable. Okay? That is the first step. The next step is shut the voice around. Shut them down. I moved away from home. I blocked some of them from my social media. I don't share my projects and my dreams. I only share them when I conquer them. Because I know if someone comes with doubt, I will self-doubt myself.
Yeah.
So I just don't tell. I just go, I need to find someone that already done that. I need to find someone that can teach me, and I will learn, and I will see. And I will see for myself if I really want that or if I don't want that. But I will only know if I want that if I try, right? So
Correct.
That's what I do. I do those steps.
Nice. Thank you so much. Very empowering. I also want to add that that knowing and understanding of your body and your body signals is very powerful. And it's also part of your mental health and mental stability and mental and also physical awareness, that somehow all of the external should not influence your choices, but you are the one who need to choose what's right for you, which is powerful, the decisions you did also in the past. So can we also step into a point of a question a bit more related to motherhood as a feminine creation for next generations, and how she, the new woman who's already conscious, is aware of her decisions and herself, how she can create a better generation, a better child that is protected, it's safe, not forgetting about herself, but she knows that that child will not take the old beliefs from past generations.
Well, I think that the first important decision you have to do is with whom you are having children. That is so important. I was lucky enough to have someone that, even when he doesn't understand me on my feminine, chaotic state, he really, really supports me. He helps with everything. He understands when I say, I'm not capable today. I, like Brené Brown says, I only have 60% today, or I only have 30% today to give.
And he needs to give a bit more.
Yes. And because we really need to be a team as a parent. We cannot put all the responsibility to raise the next generation on one or another. And we have to be, in my opinion, very clear what kind of person do I want my kids to be. And when I do this question, it's not about what I tell them, it's about how I act around them, how truly I am with myself, how authentic I am, how much I feel that I am living my truth. They will feel that. They feel that always. So I think that is the main decisions that you have to bring to the table when you are raising children. What do I want them to be? How do I want them to act in the world?
But even that own question, and thank you so much again, even that own question sometimes for some mothers can be even overwhelming. What do I want for my children? What is the best for them? Some mothers don't have a supportive father or partner, right? They're single mothers. Others they have, which is very good. It's also a reflection that they're in a healthy state and inner awareness, right? So how can we shift a bit this overwhelm mentality of I need to be the best, I need to give my children the best, or I need to try to raise them as best I can as even a couple. How do we shift from this overwhelm, constant information, even external information, and sometimes not knowing, which is okay, to a bit more empowering and self-aware?
Okay, so I am an overprotective mother, so I learn a lot with my husband, and I think that I know that some women don't have that same luck as I am, but I think the main blocking thing is that perfection ambitious. Maybe I will say something that can be controversial, but when I go to that place, I think to myself, well, most of the most successful people were more traumatized than any other human being. So
That's true.
what I want to say is that we will cause trauma in our children. We will, because that is the main
stimulus.
No, I will not say job, but functions per se. It's not the best word, but it's the main thing that our soul came here to live, is to overcome our traumas. Our adult life is about healing our childhood. That's it. Jobs, boyfriends, all of the other things that we used to call problems are just features for us to look there and heal that.
Yep.
And as we heal that, we do not we
do not allow it to pass to the next generation.
To the next generation.
Yeah.
But they will carry some things that we cannot
Control.
heal, or will they carry new ones? Because that's the purpose of their soul. And when we look, for example, for single mothers, there is a reason why that child decide to come from that mother and that father, because that soul has things to pass through, and that gives a little lightness, makes all those overwhelming thoughts and that place of perfection a little more soothed. You know, at least for me, it works that way, because I don't have to be perfect. For me, the most important, I have to say, I'm not those kind of mothers that sit on the ground and play with the kids. I'm so glad they have a grandmother that does that for them. I'm not those kind of mother. I am those kind of mother that support and hold their emotions. That's who I am. I know there I'm really, really good. I'm not so good on the other things, but I have a grandmother that does that. I have a father that does other things. And this is what I bring to the table. It's what I have, what I'm best of.
Thank you so much, Joana, as always. And this makes me feel and think that you're a very powerful woman, which we already understood. But there's in comparison, because there's always a duality, right? And if you compare to the some other women, they're not so empowered. And the systems nowadays, they only reactive when the woman is already overwhelmed or in crisis. And they try to seek the right information, but sometimes they don't have. And in these cases, like the real mother, she sometimes don't have that support or inner knowledge or inner awareness to find the strength. Okay, I know what to do. She needs to seek help, but where to find that help, right? So that's where elephAi comes in. We are creating that in purpose to bring the community, to bring the motherhood, the safe place for the woman to experience and have also the right scientific information, which can help her step by step also create that safe place, and also be sure that she's doing the right thing, she's being the good mother, and that no matter what, doesn't need to be perfect, but just align with her own truth and taking care of her own self as also overall family, having a good relationship with her partner, and knowing that she's doing her best, which is also relative, this best, to raise a child in the best conditions. So this leads me to next question, which is how these women who are not yet so self-aware or still seeking some external or even some support, no matter if it's from information or community or from professional, because the system failed them, how they can have this agreement with themselves to not abandon themselves and always seek for support.
I think that places like space like the one you are creating are amazing because like I said, if we are grown-ups healing our childhood, how can we raise children in the same way and at the same time, right? So if we have that safe containers, that safe space where I can bring my doubts, I can explore myself, I can be aware of how much of that reaction in my child is about me, not about him. If I am aware of that, I think that I can go to that place of more awareness that I am giving my best. Mm-hmm. And for sometimes say to myself, I'm sorry that I don't know better so far, but I will learn. Mm-hmm. But for now, I'm giving my best.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's a good answer, actually. And this leads me to thank you so much for this conversation and for sharing your experience and also your guidance and suggestions. I'm inviting all women to join us for the elephAi Women Community, which is going to have place on Doma on the 25th of April, an event for you to experience a bit of this as same conversation we had, to have more awareness and receive guidance and a bit of self-aware and leave the place more safer, peaceful and calmer, and in trust of yourself that you're doing your best. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.